Hello and welcome to Seabus Super Stadium up here on the glitzy, glamorous Gold Coast of far south Queensland. We have the Titans playing host tonight to the Newcastle Knights, and by golly, this looks like it's going to be one hell of a game. I am AMAC in the box, and joining me tonight is Liam Ryan.
Yeah, AMAC, it's going to be a huge clash here tonight. Certainly looking forward to this one. And both their sides, they're coming off some brilliant performances last week. Obviously, the Titans, they lost to the Eels last week by 1 point, and they'll be motivated to, in front of their home crowd, to fix that tonight. And the Knights, they came out 1 point victors over I believe it was the Bulldogs last week, 19 points to 18. And yeah, both their sides have been motivated in this one, and the Knights, we've certainly seen them be very solid in defence over the past few weeks, and they are going to have an advantage in that aspect, as we have seen defence be a key aspect in the SRL over the last few weeks, haven't we, Emma?
We have. And well, if it does become a defensive grind, the Knights, they're probably up for it more than the Titans are, because they're sitting second on the ladder if it comes down to defensive output. Um, it is a match of 4 versus 5, and whichever team wins tonight is almost guaranteed a post in that top 4 by the end of the round, Liam.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, if the Knights win this one, they'll go ahead of the Titans, and vice versa. So with one of these sides already placed in the top 4. As we see Marava making a strong run. It'll be interesting to see how these fullbacks go tonight, as the fullbacks have been fairly quiet in general over the last few weeks, and my mind making a strong start.
And first kick of the night goes to Josh Pretzel, who does a lovely boot down the field. It doesn't quite have the right angle, but is a much better kick. He's had a little bit of a dud off the boot last week against the Bulldogs, so he will be happy with himself that he started tonight with a much better output here, Liam.
Yeah, definitely. Pretzel, that was a way better kick there from him, and yeah, he'll certainly be happy with that one to start this game off like that, to put Dom Young in the corner, and be looking for more of the same as the game goes on.
As Captain Topo gets himself 45 meters out for his fourth. The Titans, they are working hard on their attack as Western just takes the settler up the tram tracks to get up over the 40. That's their 46 meters gained, and a good attacking set from both teams to start out the first half. O'Driscoll takes the kick this time, and Hodgkinson gets around the first line of defense, but just can't get around Dom Young. So both teams have finished their first set of the night, Liam. What did you like, or what could they work on?
Oh yeah, both sides. I had solid sets individually for, as we say, a penalty there as the Knights. So be able to work their way out of this field position quite easily with a kick from Realmy there. And but yeah, for both these sides, back to what I was saying, the Titans. I liked how they were able to just work it out of their end. Their forwards were really good at making yardage and doing quite a good job at it. And the Knights, I think they were more of the same. And yeah, defensively, the Knights, so they're probably better defensively in that first set. But yeah, I think that was solid starts for both of them.
As Pretzel saw Smith pushed back and losing meters, so he just puts his head down and he breaks on through third tackle. Going back down the blind. June, again, can't make any meters there, is pushed back by some very strong defense for their fourth. They're going that way again, though, and a lovely pass. That is not a lovely pass at all. Forward pass to the Mayava out there on the wing. And unfortunately now, O'Driscoll, the Titans start their first tackle on the 40. This could be a problem if they let too many errors fight through their game.
Yeah, definitely. As if they keep making these self-inflicted errors, it's certainly going to be a huge issue in this one. As we said, the Titans, they're already around the red zone of this Knights outfit. They're inside the 20 now on the third tackles. Working it towards the middle here, as we see Brody James take a settler.
Fourth tackle, they're inside the 10. They could go either way, but they choose to come wide. McLuckley, lovely pass to Podgy Hodgie, who just can't get forth over the line. They might have a bit of a grubber here to see if they can get across. And of course, it's McLuckie. But it goes straight into the hands of June, and the Knights escape relatively unharmed. That was a good attacking set there for the Titans, but the Knights resolute in defence, Liam.
Yeah, definitely. It was a bit of a poor kick chase on the last there, I thought, from the Titans. They just didn't tackle hard enough, and they didn't want it hard enough to. Oh, that's a big run from Ayrton there. He does a very good job at palming off two and just making some great meters there for the Knights. But as I was saying, it was just poor kick chase. They just didn't want it enough in terms of wanting a goal line dropout, and the Knights working their way out um, of their half.
As we got Mariori playing it there, just shy of the 40 for their fifth. Pretzel, a good kick straight over the top, straight down the guts of Dom Young, who gets around the first, but can't get around the other. As plays it there. Mark Lee darting out a dummy half. Had a massive game a couple rounds back. Broke the record for most tackles, and he's had a couple of really good meterage games. So the Titans, if they want to force their way back up the field, they're definitely going to be relying on their hooker there, Liam.
Yeah, they definitely are. I think that their Mark Lee has certainly been huge for them over the past few weeks, and they'll be looking for more of the same this week as we see Fanua Blake take it up. And another player that we need to look towards, I think, for the Titans is Chris Weston. He's obviously had a huge start to the season and one of the informed sevens of the competition. They haven't really been able to get him some early ball in this one yet.
And, well, they've just dug too far into the line to put that kick in. They did get the kick off, though. So Hodgson starts their first on the 20. Maxwell, way back in the pocket, gets his way 25. June had a hard day at the office so far. They've not had a lot of good meterage because that Titans defense has just been too strong. But Plush up to the 40. Now they might just be out of reach of that 40-20, and probably a good set too, because all it takes is one dodgy 40-20 attempt here, and they can invite ruin back into their life. Relmy boots it all the way down, and here comes O'Driscoll once more. O'Driscoll gets down and around, but is wrapped up nicely. We've had about 12 minutes in the game so far. And here we go, Captain Topoke, lovely offload there. Here come the Titans, Liam. The Knights, it looks like their fortress is slowly crumbling.
Yeah, definitely. Tapoke, that was a brilliant run. Just split right through that Knights defense, penetrated their defensive line brilliantly there as we see them working their way easily within this Knights attacking half on the fourth tackle. Mark Lee decides to take a scamper there, and it wasn't as good of a set as I thought it might be when Tapoke made that run, but yeah, it's not a bad set.
Oh, that is. Oh, now that's just way too awkward there. They had about three people standing around that ball, and no one wanted to touch it. And unfortunately, when my picked it up, straight over the sideline they went. So the tight. Oh, that was a real line ball, that one. The Knights, they've got to hold on tight here because this is back-to-back sets on their line now.
Yeah, definitely. It was a bit of a cardinal sin from the Knights outside backs there, just letting the ball bounce. And when it got close to the dead ball line, they just picked it up and went, "Oh yeah, we've got to get out here." When they probably should have just let it keep rolling and hope it goes out there because they were a bit 50-50 with that one, and they probably should have just caught it if they wanted to do that. It's too risky there from the Knights.
Here we go. Topo trying to force his way over. Fifth tackle. Right on the line here. Kick time. Oh, that was so close there from the kick chasers of the Titans, but Hodgson basically just picks it up as it's about to be scored and somehow gets 15 meters out. So the Knights, they breathe a sigh of relief once more, and I think they will definitely be hoping for some of those bench props to come on and breathe some new air into their attack here, Liam.
Yeah, definitely. The Titans have been way stronger to start this one, and the Knights, as you said, they are certainly looking. Oh, it's a big shot. How is that not called a knock on? I'm not sure, but that is a huge hit. And the Knights, they, as we were saying, they need some new life on this field because they are certainly not winning this battle in any way possible. Oh, it was Irvine. They bumps off one and very poor 40-20 attempt there.
Well, yeah, considering Relmy, he basically just kicked it right into the waiting hands of Irvine, and Irvine, as a result, just sort of used all that force and punched back. So here come the Titans' third tackle. They're not making a lot of meters until Mark Lee here darts out a dummy half. Fourth tackle, 3 minutes left to go. We'll see if the Knights can hold out once more. And oh my goodness, that was one hell of a try-saving tackle here from my. Dom Young back in the pocket. Lee kicks it up. They're having all of the different kick duties come around, and Uemayava comes down with it something crazy there. The Knights, they need to get out of their half here. And that was a forward pass if ever I've seen one there, Liam.
Oh, I'm not sure what the touch you saw there, but yeah, it certainly looked very line ball, and maybe line ball is generous. But yeah, that ball to Marmite was very line ball, and the Knights, they got away with one, but they'll be certainly looking to capitalize on it.
As Indurain gets up over the 30. That's a good run there from Plush. Arms off Irvine, just can't get around that second line of defense. 42 meters gained. The Knights, good set, all things considered, and Relmy kicks it on down to O'Driscoll. Not the wing I would be attacking considering who is there, but they wrap it up with a good kick chase, and a good defensive set here should see them find a little bit more luck in attack in the next set after, considering we're about to have some bench rotations.
Yeah, the bench props are much needed for the Knights here, as I think the Knights will be the ones to receive that aid first, as we see about 30 seconds until they come on. As the Titans are probably not happy. Oh, I thought that was an error for a second off Taupoke. But Dom Young makes some good meters there, and yeah, I'm certainly interested by this, what the bench props will bring to this one.
Oh, there we go. Taupo, he's broken about 4 tackles there and made about 10 meters of post line break stuff. So the Titans, they might actually get their props on first, but they're going to have no attacking from their props as Hodgkinson breaks around one and can't break around the other. And a held in tackle penalty. That is such a breath of fresh air there for the Knights.
Yeah, absolutely. It was unneeded for the Titans there because they were certainly dominating this field position and they were dominating the tackle. I just don't know why that was necessary for them to hold on that second longer. It isn't worth it. They've just got to, I guess, just let off and see if the Knights can take advantage of it. But yeah, it just was unnecessary.
As Relmy powers his way already over the 40. It's only been 20 minutes and it looks like that fitness is starting to take its toll on the Titans as June makes another 10 meters to get up to the 50 for their third. Latu, good ball to Relmy. They're forcing their way over the field. Gamer up the tram tracks there, fourth tackle. Lovely pass to Hodgkinson, but he is forced back. And the Knights, they make about 30 meters. It feels more like 60 meters. And well, they're going to start in a much better set, especially after a mammoth kick there from out of order. If they can hold Dom Young, which they do, it feels like the Knights, they are slowly winning this ascendancy here, Liam.
Yeah, definitely. They're certainly getting back in this one. And I think the Titans, they'll be. I don't think they'll be too happy with this start, considering they didn't get points on the board to just considering their domination in the first 20 minutes. They certainly dominated the field position and just weren't able to capitalize on it. And if the Knights can continue to dominate this field position battle, I think the Titans are going to continue to be unhappy with how they started. Ooh.
Yeah, again, Fanua Blake coming through for a decoy. Absolutely botches it. That would have been a 40-20 possibility there, but Weston kicks it down, and here comes Ewan Mayava. Can he get around? He sort of does a little shimmy through them and does enough to stay in field. 30th, first tackle. Latu gets up to the 40. This is a much better start to the set here for the Knights, Liam.
Yeah, definitely. They've done a brilliant job. Oh, knock on no
Knock
advantage.
on.
I'm not sure what happened there because I thought maybe he was calling a forward pass, but no, the referee calls knock on. But I didn't really see the right angle for that one.
No, it's an interesting call, so I don't know exactly what they saw, considering it's over the other side of the field to where we are, but it is play on, and the Titans, they get another chance here to attack the Knights line. Dom Young, third tackle, 25 meters out. Bullet pass to Weston, who passes it on to Fanua Blake. Up over the 20 for their fourth. They need a good run here as Speak of the Devil. There's Mark Lee, who does just that to get up over the 10. So again, they need to give it to the right bloke for the right kick because they haven't been working so far. And well, they got a result. They've got a return set here, but it's probably not the best kick chase after that one there, Liam.
Yeah, there just wasn't anyone chasing after it really hard enough, and I think that there was a lack of Dom Young, I think, and that's what really cost them. They just weren't in cohesion, I think, between the playmakers and the six and seven. So yeah, the Titans. I'll be certainly working on that because Taupoke took that kick, and you'd ideally be looking for Mick Lucky and Weston to take the kicking duties that close to the line.
As the Titans, they've played 3 tackles and made 5 meters. They're getting a little bit frustrated, I can feel, because by by all money, they should be at least 2, maybe even 3 points ahead, scores ahead. But O'Driscoll tries to break through and is buried there on the 20 for their fourth. So the Knights, it's going to be a question about whether or not they can hold on. And it looks like they've at least held them to the 10 meters, just shy for their fifth. This is danger stations though, because the Titans, with a good kick here, um, if they had put in a good kick there, that would have been dangerous. So we've got 10 minutes left, and the Knights, well, they're working their way up the field again. The Titans trying to rub egg off their face.
Yeah, definitely. The Titans, they're just not taking their opportunities, are they, Amek? It's certainly not what they would have came in thinking they were going to do because they've been so clinical when they've had the attacking opportunities to start this competition. And tonight they've just really struggled to take their opportunities inside the Knights' red zone. And the Knights, they're frustrating them.
And now, with this final 10 minutes, we start entering the possibility of injury zone. Because of the lack of stoppages, both of these teams will be redlining. And Demando, one of the first times he's touched it tonight, just can't get around those defenders out there. So the the Titans, they will be hoping that their captain, Topo, doesn't go down for another injury this week, Liam. Oh, that was almost a bit of an error there.
Yeah, I was about to say tough. Okay, he'll be worried about an injury, uh, because 38 minutes last week was all it took for him to get injured, and similar type of game to this one, just low scoring, and yeah, if they don't have it in the second half, they'll have a huge mountain to climb in this one.
As Weston kicks it on down to the my wing. And does he get around this time? He cannot. So a good defensive set there for the Knights. They just can't break off down the sideline there. As we come across, my gets through, and that's a lovely break that lets off all that pressure. And the Titans will almost give off another penalty there. Plush gets up 45, third tackle. The Knights, they're going to end this set in some good field position if they can keep pushing. Latu, they're back into the Titans half, fourth tackle. Another good run out of dummy half there for Plush, and I think this is probably the furthest the Knights have got in about the last 20 minutes, I'd say, Liam.
Yeah, definitely. It's great field position that they've managed to make there as we see them make great kick chase on Demando there as the Titans have to work hard to get out of their own end here as we see Fanua Blake take a solid run.
They can tackle, they're just over the 20, the Titans. Buckley, good running there from the bench prop, gets up over the 30 for his third. Another little bit of a 10-meter run. They can try to put in a good kick here. Relmy saw that coming for all money. All he had to do was stand there and jump. And the Knights, they get their first real chance of an attack here, Liam.
Yeah, definitely. The Knights, they'll certainly be looking for a killer blow here just before half time. They've had next to no opportunities in the Titans red zone. As we see Joey June break through. Joey June, is she going to get there? Oh, she's held out. There is on the third tackle. We see go to Relmy and think he'll be held up there.
Oh, fourth tackle, real damn close. Plush tries to force their way across. Bit of a wasting set there. And Mayava, 6 again. Now that is just a smart move there from the fullback. And they've got 6 tackles right here on the try line. And they don't need it. Joey June pushes their way over. And with 5 minutes left on the clock for the first half, the Knights score the first points of the game.
Yeah, that's the way to capitalize on an opportunity there for the Knights. Joey Dern, she does a brilliant job getting over on that one and capitalizing. That was the Knights' first opportunity really in the Titans red zone, and they only had one opportunity to score a try there. As Josh Pretzel, he'll be looking to convert his side's try there to make it 6-0 on the Titans. They'll be devastated. They have had all the opportunities in this one prior to that, and yeah, the Knights they're 6 ahead, and with 4 to go in this half, it looks like the Knights will be ahead at halftime, which is just gut wrenching for the Titans.
Yeah, considering how well, uh, in about 4 minutes, you and I were going to see the halftime stats at least, and we'll be able to share it with the viewers at home. But with the possession, we can both imagine that the Titans have had. 6 points down is definitely not what the fans here at home would think. And, well, that was a very, very shallow kick there from Captain Topo.
Yeah, maybe it's just kind of strategy to try and get the ball back, but it wasn't really short enough to try and get it back either. As we see Hodgson take a solid run there. There'll be about maybe 1 or 2 sets each, as the Titans will be looking to fight back at the end of this half.
And as we're about to hit the last 3 minutes and get some forwards back on the field, Relmy pushes hard and pushes up to the 40. Pretzel might stand up and try a 40-20 here and give themselves another chance to score. And, well, no, Pancake Gamer's head gets in the way, which is probably good because, oh, there we go. Titans shooting themselves in the foot once more, and a hell of a piggyback out of their half here for the Knights.
I thought they would have learnt from their mistake earlier in the half. They keep shooting themselves in the foot. They don't learn from their mistakes, the Titans. It's like they're finding Dory. They're just continuing to shoot themselves in the foot with errors and penalties. And yeah, the Knights have another opportunity late in this half to go up 2 possessions. Or 2 tries, rather.
As Hodgson forces his way up. Good ball to Pretzel back on the inside to Mai, who cops one, a hell of a shoulder. I don't know who put the shoulder in, but I think John Boy might have something to say for it later on, as Keane hits the line, comes down on the 20, or just shy of the 20, I should say, for their fourth. They've got another good push here to put an attacking kick in, and Indurain does what he needs to do. Some good post-contact meters, and they can go either way in the field. It looks like they're shaping up left, though. Pretzel puts it high. It's not very deep, but it doesn't have to be. Mayava comes down with it, and not the best end of the set, but at least they didn't botch that one, and the Titans have, well, about 20 seconds. We're probably going to go into the halftime break with 6 points up. Now, stay tuned after the break. We'll have lots of analysis from our analyst in the box as Irvine takes the last hit of the set. And we're back here at Seba Super Stadium for the second half of what has been one electric game of Monday Night Football. Both teams have been putting on a defensive masterclass, and it has only been some special work here from the Knights that has got Newcastle 6 points ahead. Looking at those halftime stats, Liam, is there anything interesting we want to bring up?
Oh yeah, definitely. The first half certainly brought about some interesting stats, and it was certainly contrary to what we thought was happening in the first half. Possession wise, we thought that the Titans were going to be dominating. It's 48% possession to them, 52 to the Knights. So not really dominating anything there, and the meterage as well is pretty even. 510 for the Titans, 452 for the Knights, and for the Titans, the 3 penalties is plaguing them. The Knights, they haven't conceded any, and they're also ahead in the error count. So that's really what's costing them in this one. And but the individual stats, there really isn't too much to talk about. Mark Lee was fairly solid in defence for the Titans with 17 tackles, and the Knights, they had some interesting contributors. Josh Pretzel, he had a really good first half with the boot. He had 270 kick meters, I believe, off 6 kicks. And for their fullback, Mai, she was really quiet. Only 44 meters ran in that first half.
Yeah, although having said that, I can't really blame the young lady because most of that first half was spent in and around their own red zone. So as Keane makes a good run up there. So if the Knights can do a little bit more of what they did towards the back end there and be able to attack the Titans, it's going to turn into a much more interesting game as they get to the end of their first set. And we pass it back to Pretzel, who boots it on down once more. And Hills do more? No, he can't. He is wrapped up again. And this left-hand side of the Knights, particularly Cam Smith, he has had an excellent defensive game tonight, Liam.
Yeah, definitely. Cam Smith, he was absolutely huge in that first half defensively. I think he made 8 tackles and had the none miss, but attackingly, struggled to really make his mark on the game. I believe he made 0 meters in the first half. I believe he touched the ball as well. So just looking to get some more attacking output from him.
Yep. One of those interesting stats: 0 run meters, 1 line break. So the statisticians are going to be working twice as hard to really explain that one. As Chris Weston, it looks like we've got a bit of a curse here. Indurain picks it up 25 meters out. The Knights, they are in some excellent field position here, Liam.
Yeah, definitely. That was a pretty poor kick from Weston in terms of just kicking in the back of one of his players. And yeah, I'm not sure the player should have been his way, but yeah, Weston's just got to be got a bit of onus there to tell his blocker to really be out of his way there. As Pretzel takes it forward, he's been really solid in this one, and they'll be looking towards their left edge here on the short sides. Pancake Gamer looks to go over.
And there he is, the number 15, forcing his way over. Pancake Gamer, one of the best named players in the SRL currently. I think that might be his first in his career, or at least in SRL 2.0 there, Liam.
Yeah, definitely. Pancake Gamer, that's a brilliant effort there, just barging his way over, pushing his way across that with that Titans defender there. And yeah, the Knights, they're up 10 points to nothing here as Pretzel looks to convert. It should be 12-0. And the Titans, as we were mentioning late in that first half, they'll certainly be disappointed with themselves considering the dominance we thought they had early in the first half.
Yeah, that's both of the Knights' tries coming off Titans' errors, which was a little bit of a flavour from the Eels game last week. Most of the SRL saw that the Titans were probably one of the strongest the teams of that game, but unfortunately they clocked up 11 errors, which went a long way towards seeing the Eels get up over them. So they've got 33 minutes to shut those errors down and slowly work themselves back into the game. There is time, however, Liam.
Yeah, definitely. 33 minutes is a lot of time in the SRL. The Titans, when they have it on, they are very hard to stop. They only need to really get it on for 10 minutes and they'll have 2 or 3 tries. So as long as they can cut these errors out and really start to win this field position battle, I think that they'll be very hard to stop coming home this game.
As Realme back on the inside to My, who has a lovely line break. They kept her quiet for the first half, and they're finally letting her loose in the second. Plush coming over. Pretzel linking up with Kamalioloa. He can't really get too much further, though. 44 meters gained. Not a terrible set after points, but it just shows you how hard it is to make meters here as Pretzel looks like he's getting tired out there and cleans up his own shanked kick.
Yeah, that was the first sign of a poor kick there from Josh Pretzel, is what we saw last week. As we see O'Driscoll make a great run down the right-hand sideline. She did really well there to get down the sideline and put the Titans in great field position for the first time in this second half. They really need a response here.
Yep, the Knights might have the O'Driscoll, might have the Mimais, but the Titans, they got the O'Driscolls. And oh, Buckley almost got over. That was some beautiful round the player passing there from the Titans, and the Knights somehow got around the legs. That won't be the last, though. They will bring it back, and they've got a couple of more tackles in the set to see if they can turn the tail on the Knights here.
Yeah, definitely. I believe the ref called 6 again. It must have came off the Knights defender's head or something, and he thought it was played at. So they've got a fair few more tackles in this one.
As Captain Topo, he's looking a bit tired, but he's powering on. Here comes Hills, but they can't get around Mayava. That's very strong defense there from the winger. Vakateni just taking up a settler, and they get around him. Vakateni over the line. That's the fourth. They'll bring it back for the 10. This is some good defense. And I think the Titans, they wouldn't want this one going up to the bunker because the Knights, they're able to get some air back in their lungs here, Liam.
Yeah, definitely. They're able to set their defensive line really well here on this from the bunker being utilized here by the referee. As the Titans, they're just struggling to take their opportunities here. It was the story of the first half, and now it's going to be fifth tackle, and they're already at their kick, and they've had so many opportunities in this set alone. Oh, that's such a poor kick from McLucky. It's just really frustrating for them. They can't take uh, their opportunities. They had about five, like eight tackles on the Knights line, and still weren't able to penetrate it.
Well, I suppose the Knights, they're not the second best defensive side in the league for anything. And Plush, oh, a bit of a risky dart out dummy half there. My gets around one, almost gets around another. Lovely offload there to P Gamer, and he gets up to the 40 for their second. The Knights, they are working into their attack here as Pretzel uses the ruck as an extra attacker. Gets around and up almost to the 50 for their third. Very slow play of the ball there. Maxwell hits the line. The Knights, after facing off two back-to-back sets there for the Titans, find themselves back in the Titans' half for their fourth. Pretzel linking up with My again, getting around the first line, not around the second. 45 meters gained. Surely that was more than 45 meters gained. But again, I'm not good at math. And here come, well, no, here came Hills forced back. Considering they were 100 meters down the field at the end of the last half, the last set, the fact that Irvine will be playing at just shy of the 20 here, that's got to hurt here, the Titans.
Yeah, definitely. It just shows how quickly this game can change, and it certainly changed quickly at the end of the first half, and it changed quickly in back-to-back sets there for the Titans. And yeah, they're trying to work their way out as Weston makes a good run there. Really need more of this from Chris Weston.
38 meters gained. They're kicking it back. It'll probably be... yeah, no. Lenny O'Driscoll's booting it down. That's not a bad kick from the center. But here comes you and My. Mayava getting around the first line and just up to the 40. They almost drew another penalty there. They do not want to do that anymore, the Titans, as Pancake Gamer. Now, he has had an excellent game so far. I've seen his game more than I have almost all the other forwards out there, Liam.
Yeah, definitely. Pancake Gamer in this second half has been brilliant. Done a brilliant job at just really taking some solid hit ups here and getting some meterage for his team.
Oh, as Indurain just cops one hell of a whack there from Irvin. And Realme takes it on down here. Now, this is where the other O'Driscoll needs to come in. They haven't had a lot of breaks by their wingers, and Rain O'Driscoll at least gets up over the 20. Palpoke. Oh, a bit of a hospital pass to Irvin, but he reels it in before it gets reeled out of him. Second tackle on the third. Lee, Hodgy Podgy. He's been a bit quiet tonight. He's been probably one of their best forwards all season, and they've really locked him down defensively as Mark Lee does a little shimmy out of dummy half and gets just shy of the 50 for his fourth. Titans, they... Oh, well, Keane comes down with it. I don't know exactly what happened there from the Titans, though, Liam.
Oh, it was just a bit of a pass there into one of their own attackers, and yeah, I'm not sure what their Titans the attacker was doing there in his way, and yeah, they turned the ball over again. It's just shooting themselves in the foot, isn't it? It's what they did last week against the Parramatta Eels, and it's more of the same here this week. As the Knights, they are. We've mentioned their defense, but that was certainly had nothing to do with that solid defense from them, and they'll have another opportunity here to really make this game a blowout.
The Titans, they backed up that error with some good defense, holding the Knights to only about 30 odd meters. As Relmy, lovely kick down to Hills, who gets around the first line of defense, but he's forced back over the 10. 20 minutes left. We're about to see some interchanges come on and off. Probably more interchanges for the Knights than for the Titans, because the Titans, famously, they run with an 80-minute lock. And you've got to think that Max Topoke, you've got to think that Max Topoke's thighs are absolutely screaming right now, Liam.
Yeah, definitely. He'll certainly be worked here as this game's. Oh no, what is going on here? As Dom Young kicks the ball backwards, and It's just more of the same in terms of errors, and they're shooting themselves in the foot. Nothing's going right from this point. And McLucky, luckily, he kicks the ball down and gets a great purchase on the ball. It's what they needed there after a very poor fourth tackle.
Yep, Keane, lovely ball to Hodgkinson. Hodgkinson dancing down the sideline. Do they push him over? No, they don't. That was a lovely linkage there with the centre and the winger. Plush darting out of dummy half. Almost making it to the 30. Coming across. Relmy just decides to hold it. 25 metres out, fourth tackle. Another good push here, and they can put an attacking kick in. They are turning the screws to the Titans as Cameron Smith. There he goes. That's what we want from the centre, and he makes it almost to the 10. 18 minutes left. Time is slowly running out. Pretzel digs into the line, and my is over. That is phenomenal, and that might just have won the Knights the game there, Liam.
Yeah, absolutely. My Ave does a brilliant job at just following Pretzel's kick. It's a brilliant kick penetrating in between the two Titans defenders here. I believe it was Hodgie and McLucky, and they just don't chase hard enough, really. And my Ave takes advantage of that, just goes straight in between the two of them and grounds that ball. And it's a brilliant job from the young fullback there, as she's certainly happy about herself. And the Knights, you'd think they'll go 18 ahead here, and the Titans, they have absolutely fell off in the last 20 minutes this one, and it's really frustrating stuff from them because considering the dominance they had early on this one, and we thought they'd fight back, they just haven't really been able to.
Well, I know for one, a lot of punters are not going to be happy. Not just Titans punters, but a lot of punters jumped on the Knights 1 to 8. Not a lot of people jumped on the Knights 9 to 18. So this last week we saw a lot of punters get a lot of coins off the favourites. It looks like we're starting to see a bit of a different side of the SRL this week, Liam.
Yeah, definitely. And I, for one, definitely looking for that Knights 1 to 8. So if the Titans could kindly score a few points here, it would be lovely for my SRL bank account.
As Plush, another good run out of dummy half, and they are already up and over the 30. Second tackle. 16 minutes left. The Titans. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna be kind and say that there is a chance they can work back into it, but they need to score more than a point a minute at the moment. And Pancake Gamer just does one hell of a get out of here and gets up to the 50. Bush darting out of dummy half. That is an excellent set out of points there. 56 meters gained for the Knights. And we're about to get into some kicking again from Relmy. All the way over here to Hills. Again, Hills is met well by some defenders. And the Knights, they might be 18 points up, but I'm willing to bet it's their defense that's won them this game tonight, Liam.
Yeah, definitely. It's certainly been a case of defensive class here from the Knights. They have been brilliant at stopping the Titans. Whenever they've had opportunities on on the line, they've certainly just stopped the Titans. We saw earlier in this second half 8 or 9 tackles they had to defend of the Titans, and just valiantly stopped them all every single time. Just held them back, and yeah, the Titans, they've just struggled to really penetrate when they've got close to the Knights line.
As Hodgkinson scythes through the line and gets up over the 30. First tackle. Good outside support. Relmy just taking a settler. Second tackle brought down on the 40. We see the props come on and come off. Not the props, sorry, I should say the lock for the Knights. 30. Third tackle. Out of dummy half again. Plush has been doing that all night and has been bamboozling those defenders each and every time. My Pretzel Smith back on the inside, trying to work up the guts once more. Another 52 meters gained, and the Knights, they've got 13 minutes left, and it looks like the petrol in the gas can is slowly running out here for the Titans. The fitness might be there, but those legs. Oh, Luciano almost bottles that one. 12 minutes. 12 minutes left in the game. It's probably time to start looking forward to next week. And, well, the Titans, they're not going to find it any easier. They're up against the Roosters next week, Liam.
Yeah, absolutely. The Roosters are obviously a quality side in this competition. They are certainly no slouches in this one. And yeah, the Titans, they won't find it easy playing the Roosters next week. And I believe it is at home again. So that they'll certainly benefit from being in front of their home crowd. And they'll certainly try and pay them back for this effort this week because their home side has certainly not been great this week.
As Smith, he's been touching the ball quite a lot in the last 10 minutes and making some excellent run meters there. A little bit slow play of the ball, but we keep going. Kamailoa forcing his way up over the 50 for his third. Again, another very slow play of the ball. The Titans, both the Titans and the Knights, look like they are exhausted out there as Smith makes another good 10 meters post contact. And Kamailoa pops a massive shoulder there. So they might be losing, but they are definitely not losing any heart as O'Driscoll tries to get around and is forced back down on the 20. Looking forward to next week on the other side of the card. The Knights, they're probably, well, likely. Oh, there we go. That's going to help the Titans work their way up the field there, Liam.
Yeah, absolutely. As they're over their 40 already and zero tackle, they will certainly have. If there's any opportunity for them here, they'll certainly be on this set. They have to score on this set if they're any chance of getting back into this one. As Mark Lee makes a great run there.
As the Titans, they're in the 30 zone. Lenny O'Driscoll tries to get around one, 25 meters out. Good running there. Western linking up with Vakateni. Vakateni pushing hard up over the 20. Brought down, fourth tackle. They'll get an attacking kick at the end of this set. Mando, he's on back in as a prop and he's back over the 10. Here we go. Kick time. McLucky darts a little one in, but Kamialoa just picks it up out of the hands of the kick chaser. And another beautiful defensive set there from the Knights. Again, that, I'll remind people, was a number 16 putting in as much effort as you would a number 1 or a number 6 there, Liam.
Yeah, absolutely. It was brilliant stuff there from the Knights defender there, Camille, I think it was. Yeah, picking that one up, and yeah, I just thought McLucky he put in the kick a little too early for my liking. I know that he had trouble getting the releasing that ball off the grabber previously in this one, but yeah, just a little bit later, I think he should have. Oh, is that's a poor kick right into the back of the blocker there, and the Titans will have another chance here.
Oop, there's Rainer Driscoll trying to get sneak down the sideline, brought back 15 meters out. Parks, there's a lot of people in and around that line, and he has to hold it and fast forward. Lucky, lovely ball to Demando. There's an open line ahead of him, and he's put onto his back. So that's some desperate defense there from the Knights to scramble, but they've got another 2 or 3 tackles left in the set to get over for some consolation points here, Liam.
Yeah, definitely. Though this is their best chance, you'd have to say, to get some consolation points and really improve that for and against. Make sure that they're not hurting too badly from this loss.
As Chris Weston pushes, and he's on his back as well, which unfortunately he's going to be out of the 5th tackle kicking option. They're going to have to pass it back to McLucky, and third time might be the charm because his first one went dead. His second one went a little bit short. It might be Goldilocks moment here for Michael McLucky.
Yeah, hopefully here you'd hope he'll be able to fix this grubber up and take some of my advice as we'll see McLucky. Yeah, that's better, I think. Oh, there's just no kick chase that time.
Yeah, so again, McLucky, good kick there from the young man, but you're only as good as your kick chasers, unfortunately, as Smith. Again, he's touched it way more than he ever did the first half, and he's absolutely going gangbusters. Now, as I tried to say earlier, before the Knights sort of made a little bit of a meat of it, the Knights, they are up against Canberra next week. Canberra at home. And while we say the Roosters are going to be a hard fight against the Titans, the Canberra Raiders have been on fire so far this season.
Yeah, they certainly have the Raiders. They are a solid side. They've won 3 games and lost 3 so far this season, but prior to the round starting, they're certainly no slouches. They've got a for and against of 10 points, and yeah, they're a hard side to beat. I believe they do play that game at home, if I'm correct there for the Knights, and they'll certainly need that home ground advantage for a side like the Canberra Raiders.
So you Steel City fans, make sure you get on down and make sure that you get on down early because when gates open, that is going to be a rush for the best seats in the house. Hodgie playing it on the 40. Dom Young size through the line. Can Mai stop him? That's a lovely offload to this captain who is brought down on the other side of the 10 for their fourth. They got 2 minutes to go to get some consolation points in as Hodgie redlining forces his way over, and there we go. Hodgie scores. They go home with less than a donut tonight. They go home with probably 6 points. They probably want to score one more for reasons that have nothing to do with our bank accounts, Liam. But in 2 minutes, um, well, uh, the pain will be over and nothing will be left but the training of the week to come.
Yeah, absolutely. The Titans, it's certainly been a case of just failing to take those opportunities. They've certainly had far more than enough opportunities in this one to have won this one, but they finally get some points here. It's 18 points to 6, obviously consolation, but yeah, let's hope that they can get a try here and make those 1 to 8 betters a bit more happy.
As Pretzel kicks it off again, and I suppose when Pretzel goes back into the sheds with his boys, he'll be proud of what they've done, but there'll still be lessons to be learnt from tonight's game, I think, Liam.
Yeah, it certainly is. You certainly learn things when you play every game. So I think it's just a thing of learning what they've done poorly and moving on from that and seeing how they can improve. Looking at the film and just improving on those errors that they've made this week and just getting better as the season goes on.
As Lee links up with McLucky back to Luciano, who forces his way up to the 40. Third tackle. 20 seconds left. They'll end with the ball in hand in front of their home ground friends. Hodgie, fourth tackle. Lee darts out a dummy half. This will probably be it. They won't play the ball. And there goes the ring-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding. The Knights, they win by 12 points tonight. The Titans, they go home with a little bit of a shock loss at home, unfortunately. And, well, it is a night of missed opportunities out there.
Yeah, it absolutely was. They just missed all their opportunities that they had really until the final couple of minutes where Hodgie scored and cut the lead down to 12. And it was a bit of damage limitation in the end. They just scored a bit of a consolation try and helped their for and against out a bit. But yeah, I think their for and against we cut down to 31. But yeah, certainly a case of just missing opportunities. We look at some of these stats. The possession was about even. It was 52 to 48, I believe, at half time, if I'm not mistaken. And it was the completions are about the same as they were, like in terms of eventy. The errors though, that's what cost them. 5 errors for the Titans compared to 2 for the Knights, I think. The 3 penalties conceded. They didn't concede a penalty in that half, which is good signs to the Titans. Tackles were even in that one, which I can see why. And 27 missed tackles apiece. That's very interesting. Same tackles, same missed tackles. 4 more line breaks for the Knights. And meterage wise, the Titans, they were still 55-ish meters ahead of the Knights in this one. And certainly interesting, eh, mate?
Yeah, definitely. As we come across to some Titan stats. And, well, when you've got your second rowers, your Hodgies making 147 run meters, uh, you know that they've done a good night's work. 19 tackles, a couple missed, of course. We'll not worry too much about the missed tackles. Mark Lee out of dummy half, 176 with 29 tackles. Not as far as his 40 tackles, but there's a lot to be loved about that one. And then you got Max Topoke sitting out there for 80 minutes, 103 run meters, 30 tackles, none missed. A good captain's knock there.
Yeah, definitely. I think he was a little bit worried about not getting injured in the end, but the 30 tackles is certainly a sign that he wasn't too tired in the end. And yeah, Chris Weston, I think he was a little quiet tonight. 113 meters ran and 14 tackles. Solid effort defensively. Had the 3 kicks for 140 meters. Had the error. Yeah, I think he's got to be a bit better if the Titans are going to be winning. I think they just need to give him some more early ball. So you say Dom Young, I think 130 meters, a little bit quiet for the young number one. The two missed tackles, 12 tackles, that might have had an impact on his ability to attack. Only the two line breaks. As we look down, there's not really too much to note on that Titans side.
No. As we come across to the winners of the night, the Knights. And of course, we start at the top. There's Captain Pretzel, 120 run meters, 13 tackles, 11 kicks for 370 kick meters. I think coming into tonight's game, Pretzel was incredibly worried how'd he go off the boot. I think he can put those worries to rest right now, Liam.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a brilliant effort from Josh Fretzel, 370 kick meters. Obviously, nothing to slouch at after he struggled last week against the Bulldogs. And yeah, he certainly rectified that. As we look at some of these other night stats, we see 143 meters ran for Alex Romy. He had a good effort tonight. 10 tackles, three missed. We don't worry too much about that. And also 280 kick meters. That's what is that? Almost 650 kick meters between the two halves. So they had to kick their way out of it a fair bit tonight. And yeah, they certainly did a good job of that.
Yep. And of course, you got to talk about My there. Down there, scored a try. Only 117 run meters for the young lady, which is not a worry so much, but shows you how much defensive output the Knights had to put, especially into that first half. 11 tackles, a couple of missed. And then, of course, Rousey Plush down the bottom there, 123 run meters, 31 tackles out of dummy half. We'll skip over the missed tackles there. Two try assists to her name. A really solid effort and output.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a brilliant night for Rousey Plush, and I think that's all we have for you tonight. Thank you for watching SRL on your Monday night of action, and we'll see you later.